Last week, a quote from Blizzard went viral. Clips of it were shared everywhere. Holly Longdale claimed that Chris Metzen wished that World of Warcraft had a different name because it sounded too intimidating. People have been furious. The word Disneyfication has been thrown around like a hot potato, and naturally, in 2026, WoW has been some variant of cooked, fried, and maybe even air-fried. Oh, and of course it's been absolute cinema too. But here's the thing, modern trends in language aside, there's a thing called context which has often been ignored here. So let's talk about that quote and what Holly may have actually meant. So this is the infamous clip in question, which if you're a fan of World of Warcraft and you've been on any social media in the last week, you've no doubt seen many times over.
Even with Chris Metzen, we talk about, sometimes he's like, man, I wish we hadn't called it Warcraft. It sounds kind of intimidating.
On its own, out of context, I totally agree, it sounds bloody awful, and that combat might just be replaced by something like farming or horticulture, and it's pretty much sacrilege to any long-term WoW fan. But here's the full quote. Warcraft is a fantastic IP. In my humble opinion, it's been underutilized, and I want to bring it to as many people as possible. That means evolving what Warcraft means and where it's going. We want it to be approachable. She then adds that Metzen sometimes jokes about Warcraft sounding intimidating, but immediately follows this with, but nobody really thinks this about Warhammer, it's an understood name. So, Holly isn't saying that Warcraft is bad. She's not saying that Warcraft needs to be renamed. She's not saying that War should be taken from the name so it becomes World of Craft, and she's not saying that Disney are going to buy WoW. What she's saying is that the IP is underrated and underutilized. She thinks more people should be playing WoW than they currently are, and the anecdote about the name sounding intimidating, it's really just a way to make a point that actually it's not, because if you look at something like Warhammer, it's an understood and iconic name. So I think the problem here has been outrage culture more than actual outrage. Outrage gets views, outrage gets clicks. And whether it's in context or out of context, it's one of the most reliable ways to draw attention. It's been a staple of mainstream media for decades. Just look at newspaper headlines or turn on the news. And the newer version of this is clips that create polarizing opinions online. I do, however, believe that the desire of many WoW fans to become outraged at Blizzard is worth noting. This reaction does indicate plenty of people in the player base are currently feeling a level of mistrust, be it toward Blizzard or perhaps modern culture as a whole and the impact that it's having on our media, whether that's TV shows, gaming, or anything else. This fear means that hearing something like Warcraft is intimidating, it touches a nerve, and rightly so. Warcraft shouldn't be called intimidating. It's bold, it's iconic, and thankfully, it's not going anywhere, guys. Holly isn't afraid of the Warcraft name. She's so proud of it that she thinks that more people should play the game and be involved in this incredible IP. I think a good way of looking at it is take housing as an example. Is it anything to do with war? No. But is it something that seamlessly works in World of Warcraft? It can utilize the lore to address the art style and the direction, and it brings in a new type of player to the game compared to, say, people who prioritize Mythic raiding or Mythic Plus pushing, all while having no negative impact on other elements of the game. That's what she means by making the game more approachable. It's not about killing what already makes the game enjoyable or evicting old players. It's about using the strength of the IP to find new systems that still match Warcraft and the Warcraft aesthetic, but also manage to appeal to other kinds of gamers. And personally, I think that's great. If they'd done something like removed Mythic Plus and replaced it with housing, absolutely, get your pitchforks up, your torches lit, and your banners with Disneyfication should be held high. But that is simply just not the case. Trust me, I'm in the camp of not wanting WoW to lose its proverbial teeth. But just take a look at this video that Blizzard released a few days ago focusing on the origins of Xal'atath. You might notice the disintegrating child in the animation. Now, I might be wrong, but to me, that's not a company that are trying to create Hello Kitty's Warcraft adventures. I really do think that Blizzard understand that Warcraft isn't just a name, it's a legacy. Expanding the IP and attracting new and younger players doesn't mean that war in Warcraft is dead. There's space for both of these to coexist. I really think that the game can grow while staying true to its roots. But it's down to us to ensure that we keep giving constructive feedback to ensure that this is the case. Let's keep the war in Warcraft without having a war between old and new players on Reddit. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.